Turning, looking, see.
We are back in the Bronx for Game 2 of a 3-game set between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. On the mound, nasty Nestor Cortes Jr., who looks to continue his lights-out pitching. My recap, your reactions. Coming up next, this is Yankees Game Night. All right. How's it going, everybody? Today is June 2nd. Before we get started, I want to send out a very special birthday wish to my mom. Happy birthday, 71 years young today. Round of applause for my mom. Tom is the biggest supporter of Aaron Hicks there is, and of course, he's coming here the minute the game ends when Aaron Hicks gets 3 hits. First game of a possible doubleheader. The weather may or may not cooperate tonight. Looks pretty dark still, but we just had a long rain delay. Also, Lou Gehrig Day in Major League Baseball. Best pitching matchup of the season so far, on paper anyway. Nasty Nestor versus Shohei Ohtani, but as Shohei Ohtani proved today, the game isn't played on paper. Aaron Judge facing Ohtani for the first time in his career. He was not intimidated. Nestor set the tone with a scoreless first inning, 2 strikeouts, and it seems like the guy is just unhittable. I gotta say, he was amazing once again today, but we'll get to him in a minute. First batter of the game for the Yankees was Matt Carpenter, and he had one of the best at-bats you'll ever see out of the leadoff spot. 11 pitches, a ton of foul balls, and he ends up planting one into the upper deck.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Gave that ball a free mustache ride.
More of that, please.
Yankees go up 1-0, first run of the game. So what have we been saying for the last 3 years on this channel? Lefties don't have to be big-time home run hitters to be successful with hitting home runs in Yankee Stadium. You just got to be able to put the ball in play, get it in the air, and that's what we saw from Matt Carpenter. 3rd home run already for Carpenter. I don't know what's going to happen with the roster crunch when Stanton and Donaldson come back. They'll probably end up losing Carpenter, but he's one of those guys that you'd like to keep around if possible. 2 batters later, Gleyber Torres goes Oppo Taco. His 10th home run of the year. That passed his 2021 home run total. Good to see him hitting the ball to both right field and left field. He also had a double in this game. His average is up to 256, and that OPS is creeping up towards 800. We'll look at it when we get to the box score in a minute. Top 2, the Angels put Cortes on the ropes. He loaded the bases with 2 outs, but Rizzo made a phenomenal play to save a run, stole a base hit from Andrew Velasco. Nice job by Rizzo. Even though he had a slow day at the plate, he can still bring a lot of value with the glove. Aaron Hicks is actually hitting higher for batting average than Anthony Rizzo now. Hard to believe. Bottom 2, Gallo walked and then Hicks singled, and that's a rare sight. Both of these guys getting on base back-to-back. I personally wouldn't hit them back-to-back because they fail to reach so often, but they're on back-to-back. They both ultimately were stranded, but just a rare sight. Seeing both those guys on base at once, it's like seeing the Halley's Comet or something. Bottom 3, Aaron Judge drops the gavel.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
19th home run of the season for Aaron Judge. Really solid chance to have 30 home runs before the All-Star break.
Pay that man his money.
Ohtani was done after 2 hitters in the 4th inning. He allowed 8 hits and 3 solo home runs. He's made 2 starts versus the Yankees in his career. He's gotten 11 outs total. That is not very good. Bottom 4, Marwin Gonzalez made it 4-0 with a double into the left field corner, but the Yankees missed an opportunity to blow it open. They left the bases loaded. Top 5, Ohtani, who remained in the game as the DH, slashed a base hit to left field, but Nestor promptly picked him off of first base. Nestor not screwing around today. Aaron Hicks also picked up his 3rd hit of the game in the fifth inning. DJ LeMahieu smoked a solo home run to left field, his 99th home run of his career, his 50th as a Yankee, so more than half of his home runs now coming with the Yankees. That's hard to believe. His biggest home run seasons have come with the Yankees, though, so I guess it makes sense. Top 6, another amazing feat by Nestor. 3 outs on 4 pitches, and then he followed that up with a scoreless 7th inning on 7 pitches.
More of that, please.
Final line for Nestor Cortes. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Great job by Nestor Cortes. He's 5-1 on the season, lowest ERA by a Yankees pitcher through his first 10 starts since Phil Niekro in 1984. He had a 1.20 ERA that season. Angels finally got on the board in the 8th against Clark Schmidt. He was not sharp today. He left the game with 2 outs and the bases loaded, but Wandy Peralta came in and got out of the jam. And then with 3 outs left in the game, the top of the 9th, the skies opened up and the tarp went on the field. We had a rain delay of 1 hour and 28 minutes, but Peralta came back out and slammed the door. One more time, Mr. John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And that means we have to award the belt. And we're doing it by executive decree today, Mr. Nasty Nestor Cortes.
Let's go. Belt winner.
Trevor Kest says, my takeaways so far from the past couple of games. Rizzo needs to pick it up. Agreed. Glaber is back. Agreed. Don't move down Andujar. Also agreed. And if a wild card, start Nestor. Carpenter can be good. Hicks slowly coming around. I think it's too early to talk about playoff, arrangements because we still have way too much of the season to go. Nestor has never pitched anywhere near 200 innings in a season, so we have no idea what he's going to be like in the second half. He wore down a little bit at the end of last season. Now he's a much more conditioned athlete, according to Aaron Boone. He looks more fit. He's having success. He's being efficient with his pitches. The cutter has come a long way. But still, stamina could be an issue, so we want to just kind of tap the brakes. Let's let the season play out. We have a dono from Tony Stark's nephew. Says, happy birthday to Derek's mom. Appreciate that. I'm sure she appreciates that as well. Eric C. says, nasty Nestor, really dealing this year.
I hardly agree.
He's just been phenomenal. And Steven Zuleta says, nice to see Mario and Luigi playing for the Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I tell you what, there were a lot of free mustache rides in the in the Bronx today. Carpenter with a great at bat to begin the game. Not only the home run, but he really worked the count. That kind of set the tone. Ohtani couldn't put anybody away today. Let's take a look at the box score and just kind of see how he did overall. So first, let's go through the lineup. Yankees had 13 hits today. Carpenter with the 1 hit. I think he's only got 3 hits this year, 3 or 4 hits. He's hitting 188, but his OPS is a ridiculous 1.066. Somebody commented on Twitter that that's kind of what we expected from Joey Gallo, and they're not wrong. Joey Gallo used to hit home runs with kind of the frequency that Carpenter seems to be doing with the Yankees. And Duhar was 0 for 1, but he did pinch hit with the bases loaded and picked up that sacrifice fly, hitting 273. Judge with another great day, hitting 308 on the season. Rizzo, 0-4, is now hitting 209 with a 780 OPS. He continues to dip. And then Gleyber Torres, 2 for 4. That OPS has creeped up to 792. That's pretty high. That's looks like second highest, third highest if you count Carpenter, who's got limited at bats in the lineup today. LeMahieu, 1 for 4 with a ribby, hitting .256. You expect more from him. Would be nice to get another hot streak out of him. Gallo, 0 for 3 today, hitting .175. You got to think his days are numbered. You know, with the roster crunch coming, it would not surprise me to see the Yankees cut bait on him. I mean, he's already been hitting ninth a lot of the time. He's moved out of the left field spot. They're playing Andujar out there a lot more. They're playing Hicks out there a lot more. So I think that it's a high degree of possibility that he could be moved once that roster crunch kicks in. Aaron Hicks, best day he's had in a while. 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored, hitting .218 on the season, .588 OPS. Trevino, 2 for 4, his average up to .275 on the year. And Marwin Gonzalez continues to play well, 2 for 4 with a big ribby, double for him. And then Torres also had a double. Yankees had 4 solo home runs. Be nice to hit some home runs with guys on base next time around. And then let's take a look at the pitching. So Ohtani, who falls to 3 and 4, that ERA at 3.99 on the season, just does not like pitching in the Bronx. You remember last year he pitched 2/3 of an inning, got lit up like a Christmas tree. And then today, obviously, no match for the Yankees, just 2 strikeouts. And then Cortez, I mean, what can you say? 1.50 ERA. Clark Schmidt, even with the run allowed, still having a very nice season. And Wandy Peralta picks up his first save of the year.
More of that, please.
So really nice job for the Yankees. All right, let's see here. Whoops. All right, let's get to your comments and see what you got before Game 2. Anthony Segarra says Yankees are back to 20 games over 500 with the possibility to reach a season high on the same day. If you can finish off tonight with a sweep, if there is even a second game. It sounds like the gates are opening up in about 5 minutes, but that's no guarantee that they're going to play. Davey Streb says, did the Yankees really try and get Ohtani, or did they just throw a number out there? So it didn't come down to the number because he signed a very reasonable contract because he was so young. What happened with Ohtani was that he met with a number of teams, and what became clear right away was that he wanted to play on the West Coast. So there was a first round where he met with the Yankees, he met with the Red Sox, he met with a couple other East Coast teams. And then after that, he basically said, all right, you guys are not making it to the next round of negotiations. And he moved on to the West Coast, and he was negotiating with the Dodgers, the Angels. I think he even talked to the Cubs, but ultimately ended up with the Angels. Trevor Kess says, what's your takeaways on Trevino? I think he's doing a great job. You know, they talk about how some players can't play well in the Bronx or don't adjust well to life in the Bronx, but we've also seen players rise to the occasion in the Bronx, and Trevino seems to be one of those guys who has that energy level that the Bronx is just bringing it out of him. He's getting a chance, and the fans obviously love what he's doing, and that can really, you know, spawn some good play. He feels like he's really comfortable, in my opinion. Let's see here. Joseph Stream says, I don't believe it was a save situation today. You're wrong. He got the save because he came in with the bases loaded. So it's in the box score. Peralta picked up his first save. So sorry to disappoint you. Everybody loves to correct, but in this case, the box score doesn't lie. Tyone on the mound tonight. He is doing really, really well this year. 2.49 ERA, if memory serves me correct. I don't know, look, if they're going to play this game. It's supposed to be nasty. Storm system is moving through, but the last I read was that it should pass through pretty quickly and leave you an opening later in the night. Now, there's a chance we might get another delay. I think that's entirely possible. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Anthony Segarra says, hip, hip, Jose. I like it. I like it. More of that. Wait, I don't know. Where's my more of that button? There it is.
More of that, please.
Derek Musciano says, Hicks, hot or not? Well, today he had some bloops that fell in. He had a soft line drive to center field and a soft flare kind of backside that fell in. I think one of his hits was a ground ball. I mean, he wasn't exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but he did hit the ball hard a couple of times in Tampa and didn't get anything out of it. So, you know, I think it's just one of those cases. They say in baseball, it evens out. And, that may or may not be true, but the BABIP gods giveth and the BABIP gods taketh away. Brett Deutsch says, radar looks like around 8. It will be done for good. That's good to hear. And then the rain doesn't come back until 2 a.m. So it'll be nice to pick up the sweep. We'll see how it works out. Raid going to the game tomorrow. I think they got the Tigers in town tomorrow. Is that correct? Let's take a look. Hang on just a second. All right, so this is a little bit out of date, but the Tigers coming in June 3rd through the 5th, and then they go to Minnesota the 7th through the 9th, and then the Cubs in the 10th through the 12th. So, hey, look, you should be able to beat the Tigers. You should be able to handle the Twins, and the Cubs don't seem like much of a threat either. So I'm feeling good about it. All right, a couple more comments here. Mr. Eric Scratcher says, 3-hit game doesn't make an all-star. Look, he's still, 29 home runs short of 30, and he is 25 stolen bases or so short. He wanted a 30-30 season. He got to start putting some numbers on the board. Now, I'm not going to get on the guy for having a good day, but the trend of, 5, 6, 7 weeks of baseball now so far after that hot first couple of weeks, the trend of that substantive amount of time means more to me than one game. So I got to see him put together a few more games before I believe that it was just a slump or that he was just shaking off the cobwebs. So Derek says, damn those BABIP gods. Brett Deutsch says, Gallo $12 million is easy to eat if we release. I don't think $12 million is ever easy to eat. I'm not even sure the Yankees are paying all of that contract. We're getting some spam in the chat. So never mind that. I usually make it chat for subscribers only, but today was an exception. Andy Yang says, why was Joe Madden arguing with the umps? They mentioned some theories on the game, but I'm not entirely sure. Something about the Rays runway. I don't know. Maybe there were people in the runway or there was some equipment in the run. I don't know what it was. The runway is the tunnel that goes from the dugout to the clubhouse, but there was something messed up with the runway. So let's see here. Sky says, Juan Soto, future Yankee. So in case you missed it, the Nationals GM came right out and said that the rumors from Buster Olney and from other executives are false, and that the Nationals are not, flat out, not going to trade Juan Soto, unfortunately. Tony Stark says, could you imagine if the Yankees play the Angels in the ALCS if this is a preview? I don't know if the Angels have what it takes to get to the ALCS. They do have some good names on the roster, the Trouts and the Otanis, but I just don't think that they have enough pitching. I saw enough from Thor yesterday to not be that impressed by him. The fastball velocity isn't there, so I'm just not worried about them. And I don't think they're going to make the ALCS. I think it's going to be the Rays. I think it's going to be the Astros again. They're going to be tough. Those are the teams we really need to worry about. The White Sox, maybe they could turn it on. I don't think the Red Sox are going to be much of a threat. It's looking like the Blue Jays, they have good days and bad days. They're going to be a wild card possibility. But I think the Yankees are going to be the clear division favorites going forward. And I don't see anybody beating them in the playoffs, just the way they're playing right now, especially with this pitching. They say pitching wins championships. And the Yankees have the best pitching that I've seen them have maybe ever in my life. I mean, this is a better rotation than you had during those championship years. There are no weak spots. Even during those championship seasons, you had, at the end of the rotation, you had Irabu, you had Kenny Rogers one year. I think you got like Jeff Weaver one year. David Wells with the bad back at one point, after I think it was 2003. The years where we were going to and playing in World Series, we always had a solid core. It was Pettit, it was Cone, it was Clemens, it was Mussina. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. El Duque. But this year, it's like everybody in the rotation is having a fantastic year. Garrett Cole has the highest ERA, I think, on the in the rotation, and it's like 3.3. Eric says Yankees Twins could be the ALDS. I'll take it. Yankees have handled the Twins very nicely. All right, we're going to wrap this up. We got a second game starting in about an hour, hopefully, if the rain cooperates. But one more time from John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
More of that, please.
Enrique says, remember Javi Vasquez. I unfortunately do. All right, guys, I'll see you for game 2.